Alrighty, here we are. Let's do this drive, one I've done a few times, and see how it's gonna do. Alright, so busy road, a lot of cars coming. Pulled up to the stop sign. It's gonna be interesting, as I think anyone would reasonably be nervous pulling out here. It's always hard to say, you know, how much you're seeing on the video, but while you might see teeny gaps, these cars are moving fast. So speed limit here's 50. People typically do 60. So you can picture. Okay, we might have a gap here coming up.
Now turn right onto West Colonial Drive.
There we go. Nice. All right, we're off. All right, that was good. We got out. Let's see. A little slow down there. Not sure what that was for, but nothing major. Oh, people cutting out in front of me. Look. Braking for that. Alright, that was good. Did a little reactionary braking, and yes, it's moving over. That's what I would be doing. Get the heck out of that right lane. The car's crossing everywhere in front of us. I knew this one was going to be interesting. Alright. Now, if I was driving, I would probably get in that left lane. I mean, eventually we're going to need to make a left anyway. Well, until that white car moved over, it was open. But I guess Beta's deciding just to stay. That's fine too. Does seem to like the middle lane, I've noticed. More than any other lane. Oh, so no, it wants to go to the left. Okay. Not sure why I chose that now. But, hey, we'll take it. These cars are pretty much going about the same speed ahead of me, between the truck and the white Camry there. Alright, so we're off. We got a double light situation coming up here. Right now they're both green, but these ones love to catch you where one's green and the other's not. And you kind of see how quickly it comes into view. Alright, so a little bit of unnecessary braking there. Nothing bad, but I don't know if those shadows tripped it up. You know, it wasn't horrible by any stretch. But unnecessary nonetheless. But either way, we're still cruising. We'll come up to a busy left-hand turn, a double left, here in 1 mile. So it's got a little cruising, but I'd say stick with me here. Well, it'll be maybe a minute or so before we get up to that light. As you can see, this truck inching out. People just love darting across here all the time. So it's almost like it's a favorite thing to do, darting out in front of cars going 50 to 60 miles an hour. And they like to do it, right when we're getting close. Ooh, this truck's hanging out a little bit. Okay, it's ready to jerk over if I need it. Well, good. So far, so good. Maybe one could argue a little wonky pulling out at first onto this road, but again, that's where I give the Beta a little bit of grace, because I don't know. I mean, I've seen, like my parents and stuff. They're in their 70s. I've seen them, be real hesitant to pull out on a road like this too. So, not the end of the world. All right, this is gonna be our left right here. So we got double left lanes coming up. Once we get past this median, see how it does. Now, the prior version of Beta generally did okay at this turn, but I haven't tried it yet with this version. And as we certainly saw with 10.4, sometimes you can go to a newer version and then something that always worked well in the past no longer does. So it's all about that testing and retesting. But I will say I like that it got in the left of the two turn lanes. I think it's a better line making this turn. And it's gonna have the cars over here, which there's 3 lanes going this way, that it's gonna have to kind of get around a little bit, if you will. It's probably out of view, but you'll see a white car here when we make the turn. If we turn before they do, that's kind of hanging out past the line, which is gonna make this skinny with this car coming and turning me turning, all trying to line up perfectly. We all know people like to float across these little dotted lines here in the intersection as they're making their turn. So hopefully that's not the case. So I always wonder, will the Beta, just stand its ground and let someone sideswipe you, or will it try to move over, maybe at least to the further side of the lane, something, just to do a little self preservation. But you never know. All right, this might work out better for the Beta anyway, because you can see a lot of that traffic's clearing out here. But even though we've got that moving, by the time our light's green, it will surely be stacked up again. So we'll see, but hopefully they don't pull too far past the line like the other car was doing. It'll certainly make this turn a little easier for the car. So this will be kind of the parts too where I'll certainly look to start kind of fast forwarding maybe some of these things. I got to figure out how to do it. So again, just learning right now. So some of the video editing and all that. I mean, I said learning it. I'm doing none right now. So I guess at some point I'll have to figure out how to make this stuff a little better. But as the channel indicates, this is the raw and uncut channel for right now. Which is good because you get to see the good, bad, and the ugly. So nothing's edited. And I do know some of the other channels out there and why I just started to, oh, nice turn, perfect turn. But I do know some of the other channels out there will kind of edit things, and sometimes they try to either make Beta look a lot better than it is, or they try to make it look a lot worse than it is. And you got kind of two camps, people that really want to kind of shield Tesla and glorify it, and then you got the other camp that just wants to burn it to the ground, essentially, which is a little mind-boggling. I mean, they own the car and they pay the money for FSD, but yet they want to rip it apart at every chance. I just try to make it honest and fair. You see what I see, and it's all about the end of the day, just the unedited, true driver's eye to what the experience is, good, bad, and ugly. So this part should be pretty easy for the Beta. Here we're obviously just kind of cruising straight. Sometimes we're going to make a left up here, and sometimes it likes to move to the right lane, which I never really understood why it would bother getting to the right when we have a left upcoming. And I'm not talking about because moving over for faster traffic or that kind of junk. I'm talking about, like, even with no one on the road, I've seen it just kind of move to the right lane to then just go right back to the left, which I don't understand. But anyway, that was a beautiful slowdown for the light. That's the cool thing with the Vision, is how it can see these lights way ahead, and that was very human-like. It just coasted down. I don't think it used the brakes at all. It just used the regenerative based on how it felt, which was nice. Earlier iterations of the Beta would, I think, at times they would wait a little longer and then, have to brake harder, which is an interesting thing too. So I will share, with my normal driving, I mean, it's all one pedal. So it's rare I use the brakes. I mean, that's kind of an emergency thing, which is extraordinarily rare to happen in the first place. And so my wheels would stay super clean because you don't have all that brake dust. I've definitely noticed since I've started the Beta testing, there's a lot more braking, and therefore, because it's using the brakes now, my rims are getting pretty dirty, which also makes me wonder, I think, an important point, something I haven't really heard anyone talk about, but is the Beta, less efficient? Okay, so this is weird. So this is that slowdown here. This is the firehouse. It's out of view of the camera, the emergency signal, and it just does this kind of coast down. I can only assume that, whoa, that was tough. That was a little rough there. What are we doing? There's cars coming. So anyway, okay, all right. It probably could have made that. Again, I'm not here to find out with that kind of stuff. Not with a 2021 Model S. way too much put into this car to just let it float out and get crashed. But even more important than that, I think you could argue, you know, what about the safety too, you know, of the other people? So
Now turn right on.
I know there's a lot of skeptics out there that think, you know, the beta testers are, you know, they're testing their, you know, their new toy on the public. You know, unsuspecting people that never signed up for beta testing are now, you know, becoming testers because they're on the road with me. If you know, catch the drift, which I try to really make sure I'm not going to be contributing to that narrative, and that if something looks a little too sketchy, I'm not going to do it. And pulling out in front of that car like that, yeah, it probably could have made it, and somebody in a hurry might have done it, but I'm not in a rush, and I'm not willing to do that and either scare the pants off of someone else or risk even worse just to see if it could have done it or not. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. I'll definitely brave it out on some other things where it's more about the road or something, but not when it's about, you know, somebody else getting hit. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off the soapbox here, and we will look, I think, to go ahead and wrap this video just for fun. For those that might be new to the channel, this is our lovely red Durango that always likes to park here, and the Tesla just loves to slowly creep out, and it continues to do so. But anyway, we're good. Rest is easy peasy from here. So hope you all enjoyed, and have a happy Thanksgiving.